It's Christmas Eve, and I was having a hard time sleeping because I was dreaming about the Horus Heresy. I know it's like a nerdy thing. The Horus Heresy is a civil war in Warhammer between these demigod super soldiers as they're all trying to take over. There's a part in it where I guess they send the 6th Legion, which is the Space Wolves, to take out the 15th Legion, which is the Thousand Sons, and they go to Prospero, the Space Wolves do, with some Custodes, which are super soldiers, and they take out the Thousand Sons because they're doing psychic, they call it the Librarius, but it's really like, to them, they're doing magic. So, when I'm dreaming about this, at that time, the Primarch of the Space Wolves, they're like space Vikings. His name's Leman Russ, and Leman Russ, he sends Deathsworn, which are Marines who are supposed to watch after Primarchs. And this actually, the reason I'm giving this backstory is because it relates to where my dream picks up. The Deathsworn were sent to all the legions that they knew hadn't. They didn't really know who had fallen or not, but the Space Wolves did this just before the burning of Prospero or just after. But they send these Marines that are specially trained to try to kill these Primarchs. And so my dream begins where I'm always usually an Iron Warrior or Night Lord in my dreams, but I dream about it quite frequently. Been Alpha Legion once or twice. So I'm with the 4th Legion, the Iron Warriors. Their Primarch is Perturabo. Perturabo's brutal. He's just really brutal. And so I am driving a transport, and I look like I'm a human. I'm actually in this compartment, but it's hiding the fact that I'm a Space Marine. And that actually will come into play. So we rewind time, and Leman Russ sends his special Space Marine killing, supposedly Primarch killing Marines, the Deathsworn, to the 4th Legion, to Perturabo. And I remember they sent them to the flagship, and I was there, and we asked Perturabo what he wanted to do. He said, go ahead, let them into the command room. And I was like, okay, I mean, do you think this is safe? And he just gave me a look, and I just shut up. Because, like, if I questioned it any further, Perturabo was going to kick my ass. So I was, okay, let them in. We have them at gunpoint. These Deathsworn Space Wolves, they announce themselves for what they are. Perturabo nods and then says, what makes you think that you could have the audacity to make a threat like that to me? And he just, like, jumps up, and the Space Wolves snarl, they howl. That's all they had time to do, and Perturabo wrecks them. He literally wrecks them. I mean, he just tears them into pieces. There are like 20 of these guys that are like super soldiers, and Perturabo kills them all within like a second and a half. I mean, and he just dismembers them. Then he's like mad at me. You know, even though I'm like in the room and I was like not going to let them in and we were going to take them out, my company, he's mad at me because he said let them in, and then he was like mad at me because we let them in. And it's like, but this is what you told us to do. But whatever, we're not going to argue with you because I don't want to be ruined like these Space Wolves are. And so he makes us pick up the pieces of all these dismembered Deathsworn, and then he has us load them into a transport. And he gives us the instruction that we have to deliver them back to the Space Wolves, and we have to leave a gift of our own, which is like some sort of like cannon weapon within our transport that's kind of hidden, that we're supposed to open fire on a ship and it'll cripple it. And he doesn't want it destroyed. He just wants it crippled, and he wants us to leave these bodies of these people that Leman Russ sent. So we drive like what's equivalent to a space bus. It's just this transport to where the Space Wolves were. And we're a group of Space Marines. There are about 10 of us dressed as humans. And we drive the bus up, the transport, and we tell them that we bring greetings from the 4th Legion, And again, we look like human auxiliary, and it was really weird how they did it because Space Marines, I guess, we still had like smaller sized heads, and they put us in like these little it was like a 2-part shell that actually looked like that we were a human sitting in a chair, and it would open up, and then we could step out and be our giant Space Marine selves. And the same thing with the cannon; it was hidden. So we go into space, and then we run into some auxiliaries, which are humans, that are with Space Marines. And humans are pretty small. Humans are probably like, normal human sizes, maybe like from almost 6 feet to like 6.5 feet tall. Whereas we're like 9 feet, we're really big, like not 9 feet, but 8 feet maybe. So we're a lot bigger, maybe 1.5 feet, and a lot bulkier, maybe like 3 or 4 times as wide as a human. Again, hidden in these little shells that look like they're chairs, transport chairs. And the Space Wolves board us. They say, why are we coming to this space? And we tell them some sort of crap that we saw there. We wanted to affirm our oaths of loyalty to the Emperor and to Lehman Russ. And we had to thank him for sending his troops, and we had a gift in return. So, it's my responsibility to say this, and I'm trying to say this with like a straight face without seeming like a total dick. It's not really working so well because they feel kind of threatened, and they have some like Space Wolves there that they want to, kind of intimidate us as humans. And I think they were planning on taking our little shuttle they thought was just a little shuttle. And we did this at the outer ranges of the fleet so that we could run away. The wolves come in and they say, okay, well, where's the gift? And I press a little button, but it's not me. It's like little robotic baby arms. And out comes this stuff from the ceiling like trash. And it's the parts of Space Wolves. Like their armor and their guns and things that just dump like trash. Yeah. It was bad. And then, of course, the one Space Wolves, the actual super soldiers, want to attack us, and then our little things open up, and we blast the crap out of them, and we have more body parts that we basically put on the little Space Wolf ship that had docked with us, and then we shoot the thing with our little laser that the human people tried to fight us. We just squished them. I mean, there was barely anyone left alive. Yeah, if anyone was dumb enough to come on our ship, we just killed them all. And then we crippled the ship with a little laser, and then we flew back. But yeah, Lehman Russ sent his Deathsworn to Perturabo, and it was literally like just giving us trash to give back to the Space Wolves. It's an interesting dream. It was really vivid. I mean, like, I was super scared of Perturabo, but at the same time, a lot like him. I'd just get snarky and angry and just so upset that they had the audacity to do that. As if these dumb little guys could have even done anything to the Primarch. And they couldn't. It just was like a show, a little stupid show that we showed them how stupid it was and gave them a crippled ship. We didn't kill it because we didn't just destroy everybody, because we wanted some people to take it back. To show Lehman Russ that he was an idiot for doing that. Yeah, that was my dream. It's killing Deathsworn, or watching Perturabo killing Deathsworn and delivering them like trash back to the Space Wolves before flying back to the Iron Warriors fleet.